kami sa mga nasa El Salvador sa mga oras na to. Medyo mainit po ang...
Kinda.
Mainit na
Okay.
balitaktakan.
Your mic. You forgot your
I'm
mic.
sorry, yes. I'm gonna put it na. So that,
Okay, so again, apologies for the late na live stream. It's okay, it's fine. This is the only time na available kami pareho ni Mark. We both have some things to do on Friday, so hindi naman pwedeng sa Sabado dahil masyado nang dikit sa finals. So we're doing it this evening. Apologies for the late na start. Thank you very much for everyone who is here na naghintay. Thank you very much for the patience. And this is going to be a very interesting na live stream because we're doing it in an open space for a change because we want to make sure na tawag nito, na hindi kami masasaraduhan dahil ang dami naming sasabihin. Okay? So before we start, for everyone who are new here, please do subscribe to our channel. And for everyone na nandito ngayon, I do hope that you like and share our live stream so that it will activate the YouTube algorithm so that more people will be able to watch this a little later on after the live stream is finished. Okay, so anong gagawin natin ngayon? We are going to have a structure in our live discussion. Every now and then we will interject with some of your comments and your what do you call this? And your mga opinions on the kaganapan during the live stream ng preliminaries. So the first thing that we want to discuss first is the live stream failure of the live bash. For me, it was terrible optics dahil may problema na nga sila sa finances. They already have issues with their finances and then they have this. It just makes it more, I don't know, it makes it
the issue. Because you ask money from viewers and then
you can't deliver. So I think this is a issue of optics more than an issue of technicality. I know that technical issues is, sometimes it happens. It's just that. But you put that with the optics that the Miss Universe parent organization, JKN, has been like one ant's step away from bankruptcy. So parang one signature away from bankruptcy. So that's really
that's
terrible.
That's a terrible misrepresentation of organization on the get-go. You don't want that to happen.
Yeah.
Anything that involves money and finances, you have to stay away from. Really.
Exactly.
And if it's not broke, don't fix it. YouTube is working just fine.
Yeah, exactly. And
put ads in it. We don't care. Just don't ruin your businesses because you want more.
Mula. Yeah. It really pissed me off earlier this morning because I actually used a credit card from my sister when I purchased the ticket. And of course, syempre nakiusap ka na ganito ganyan, and then suddenly
he woke me up telling me YouTube is on. Go to YouTube. It was 9:40 in the morning and I checked it. Yes, they're counting down.
Yeah.
So, diba, buti na lang you have existing internet infrastructure. Thank God for the internet that we had the chance to actually witness what happened earlier this morning in El Salvador for the preliminaries of the Miss Universe competition.
Okay, so we're done with the rant on the live stream bash. Okay, the live bash. Now let's talk about the stage. Love the stage.
Gorgeous.
Gorgeous.
It's 2019 Miss USA meets 2018 Miss Universe.
Yeah.
So how could you ask for more? LTV runway.
Yeah.
The girls are on fire, walking on it. But I'm not gonna talk about the ground. It's another disaster to talk about. But just stepping on that stage, I can sense how they feel so good about themselves, that they're presenting themselves in a better state. It elevates the feeling of competition, and nothing beats that. Ang ganda nun. So we're hoping that come finals night, mas makuha ng girls yung energy that the stage is giving them because that would help them on their campaign towards the Miss Universe crown.
On my end, I was hoping that there should be a little bit more El Salvadorian culture representation in the stage. Maybe a little bit here and there on the LED screens about the...
Although in the recent years kasi we've seen how they've eliminated that.
Yeah.
I think starting with Manila in 2016,
Yes.
there's no such feel of the Philippines on a stage.
Yeah. Unlike in 2014 or 2013.
The Miami, where you were.
Yes.
So
It was an ugly basketball court, but the stage looks superb.
Kaboosh, yeah.
Yeah.
2018 in Bangkok either doesn't feel Thai except for the music that they use.
And the drums, the drummers and the Thai dancers. So I think maybe in that part they can do it on the finals.
Maybe the final sentiment.
Yeah.
Probably. Especially that John Legend is performing. We don't know how it's going to be. Possibly, I do not know if they're going to be local bands like in New Orleans last year.
Or in Miami in
In
2014.
So we're hoping something like that to be the energy of the place, the representation of the venue, because El Salvador is such an exquisite host country for this year.
Yeah.
Maganda naman the way they handled competition. The girls are good in good hotels. The activities are really nice. I think they've been pampered.
They are. So I think on that end, everything's good. How about the hosts? What can you say about the hosts?
They need
Nicktaplits.
electricity, they need vitamins, they need Milo.
Me on my end, I think they need Nicktaplits to do the rhyming thing. I think he adds humor in the Miss Universe preliminary competitions. I would
Bring
have
back
wanted.
Nick is your best guy to do
He's there.
But they did not put
They didn't put him in the hosting table.
because I just want a representative from El Salvador and the reigning Miss Universe. You know, it doesn't work that way.
In as much as Arbony was doing her best in the hosting, it was just dry because there's no rapport between her and the other host, the other Hispanic host. I'm not saying that the Hispanic host is not effective. It's just that there's no chemistry. There was no rapport. There was no tete between those two those two hosts, and I think that had there been a I don't know, like a friendship there, they could have been able to show more chemistry on stage.
Indeed, yes.
Yeah.
I totally agree with that.
And it didn't deserve that they were just like reading from a script.
I don't know.
It felt like that.
There's
It's very robotic. It's
there's
very
something really, really off. Maybe because they just met each other pretty late.
yeah.
They don't have enough time to like warm up to each other. And like, how are we gonna read this? How are we gonna read that?
Yeah.
Especially when you're hosting something like that.
Yeah.
Try to acclimatize yourself.
And you ad lib every now and then to add a little something so that there's a connection between the two.
To make it natural, to make it more at the moment kind of situation. But that didn't happen. So yes, it was a disaster hosting. We love Arbony, but this is just not her night.
Yeah, it wasn't.
It wasn't her night.
Okay, now let's talk about the swimsuits. The ugly swimsuits.
Foil. Foiled the night. It's foiling. It's giving bangus, it's giving food packs, it's giving Christmas.
Okay, I'm gonna try to salvage the designs by saying that don't use capes during the finals, because if you have a very structural na swimwear, at least make sure that the hair is away from the face, because all the structure is on the neckline, on the shoulders, so it takes away from the face of the girl. So
there's too much fabric, there's too much going on.
And it's metallic.
Yeah, it's metallic, especially the girls from the Middle East like Bahrain. When you're wearing a kaftan and then you have a cape, it's just like swooshing and then adding more and more and more to something that shouldn't be there. I mean, you could have left, and Pakistan was lucky to walk on just kaftan alone. And all the other girls. And there are some girls who are lucky in choosing the right cut of dress that they...
Michelle chose
a
very good design.
Same with Honduras. I think it was Michelle in Honduras who was wearing the same type of swimsuit.
Who else?
I think Indonesia swimwear worked for
She's
her.
forgettable for me on the swimwear.
But the color, the fuchsia, the two-piece of Nicaragua.
Yeah, that one.
That's nice.
That's nice.
The rest can go home.
Yeah, I think there were around 8 designs that supposed to be to choose from. I think half of those designs are unflattering.
The
Simply
ruffles, what the hell is that? The ruffles doesn't do anything.
because it's supposed to be that the fabric is made from
Sustainable material.
sustainable material.
Okay na lang sila. Diba?
or instructed the girl that because things are structural on this area, move the hair away from the face in a
Yes.
ponytail. I think that would have been the better or the smart choice
some
for
girls
the
did.
swimwear competition.
Some girls did. But it's just that some cuts, maybe most of the girls relied on the collar. They chose that the collar they could work.
Yeah.
Would work well on them, but not the cut. For example, Prelims Governor of South Africa, that gold is magical.
Yeah.
But on other girls, that gold is not working.
Yes, agree.
Thailand and Nepal is wearing the same type of swimsuit. It works for Antonia because
Yes.
she's slender.
But the thing with Antonia, it made her look a little bit heavy
Yeah.
because of the metallic
And
fabric.
I think it kind of worked for Nepal.
It kind of worked
Because
well.
it's squeezing her
Yeah,
in all the right places.
exactly.
And that's what you want when you're wearing
Yeah.
swimsuit.
So-
You want to be comfortable with your body.
So let's just say that this year's swimwear
one of the worst.
is unforgiving. Let's just say it's unforgiving.
Criminal. Akala ko, I thought the 2011 edition when everything was too short, diba? There was a rumor that they need to add fabric.
That's 2021. Yeah, 2021.
2011 too. The Champs of Superior.
Yes, the Brazilian.
The Brazilian,
Yeah.
the
Agree.
swimsuit for finals and the preliminaries are different. But for the finals, they need to add cloth that was just like this at the front
Yeah.
and a thong at the back.
Yeah.
And so, but that was forgiving. The colors were nice. The beadwork was better.
Because the cuts were flattering. It
It is.
it didn't have the additional, I don't know, structural
Thing.
3D.
The ruffles, the
It's not even
shine.
it's not even a ruffle. They market it as a structural swimwear, whatever that means. For me, it just means like it's unflattering because it takes away attention from the girls. And if you're
does.
going to design a swimwear, a swimsuit meant for swimwear competition for Miss Universe, you have to design it in such a way that
Mobility.
it does not take away from the girl, but rather it flatters the body type of the girl. Instead, I am looking at this very ugly swimwear instead of the faces of the girls. And that is the reason why a lot of pageant fans were saying that some of the Latina girls who chose, more fluffy swimwear did not
over-
deliver on the
The bounce when- You know what?
swimsuit
If
competition.
you're gonna do a mixture of swimwear on different designs, they could have learned from 2015.
Yeah.
Different designs, different colors.
Different cuts.
But at least the cuts were flattering.
Yeah.
For example, Tia's boobs were supported.
Yes.
Clarissa Molinas was sexy that year.
Yeah.
I remember that.
Ariana's was very sexy.
Ariadna Gutierrez's
Yeah.
bandeau top was very, very nice. And that's what I was expecting for this year
Yeah.
because they're also employing the same difference in terms
And
of look.
The thing here is that a lot of the swimwear that are halter in nature, they flatter the girls who have model-esque bodies.
Yeah.
So ladies like, let's say, El Salvador, Dominican Republic, who else? Mexico,
Look divine.
Philippines look great in those swimwear because it is flattering for
Michelle
their
looked
body
divine
type.
earlier. But
Yeah.
for example, Michelle is taller than Honduras. Honduras is wearing the same. But since Honduras is shorter,
It
it
didn't-
kind of cuts her in the wrong
place,
Yeah,
yes.
it doesn't make her look elongated.
Yeah.
Where she could have opted for the two-piece because there is a better two-piece option.
And even Dominican Republic with the cutout on the waist side of the swimwear that she wore, it also even made her look shorter.
Yeah, but
In fact-
Dominican Republic saving grace was her walk. She
Yes.
pushed the hell out of the runway earlier. She was really, really good in that.
So maybe for the finals, we do suggest that girls don't wear your capes.
Don't
It's already too distracting if it
burn. But I do not know what the final swimsuit will be.
I'm hoping that the final swimsuit is something that is a little bit more
Yeah.
on the plain side, not too much.
Possibly. I'm still wishing for a uniform final swimwear.
It would not look good on all girls if it's just one cut. Maybe
one color.
one color,
fabrication.
but different cuts.
Yeah. I'm okay with seeing somebody wearing one piece, two piece.
Yeah.
But on the same fabrication, same design.
Yeah.
I
agree with
whatever
that.
that may be.
Yeah.
So yeah, I just need that uniformity because that also makes everything fair. I think it's for the girls. That's the reason why in the past we have.
And also, why did you have to design a swimsuit in the colors that are unflattering like gray? Like, it's not even gray, but it's rather terrible gray, like dead gray. It's like funeral gray. That's the color. I mean, honestly, the swimsuit of Antonio, it looks very ash gray.
It's dead.
It's dead. It's something that you would wear on a funeral. I honestly think so. That kind of color, it's not flattering. The metallic really made it look like it's cheap, that it's for a dancer wearing on a noontime show. That is the vibes that I have been, trying to stop myself to say on social, but now in this live stream, I'm kinda like, I needed to say that.
But yes, because it's all valid. It's all valid.
Yeah,
it's cheap. It would stack.
It does not put the girls in the best light.
It's just not really.
No, it's not flattering for the girls.
But some girls are really lucky for choosing the right.
The right, yeah.
For themselves.
I think, hands down, Michelle for me gets that best swimsuit performance with the best swimwear design.
Yeah, it is. It's true and true. She joins the ranks of Dominican Republic, Puerto Rico for that performance, and Nicaragua. I think they're some of the top 5 best in swimsuit for me today because that's how the girls have been displayed.
Okay, so for the swimsuit, do we judge them based on their choice of swimwear or based only on the performance?
Usually it's on the performance, but if the swimwear is bothersome, it can also affect the optics. For example, I think that El Salvador really did
yes,
well tonight.
Very on point. Her stops, her register on camera was really like, she know where the camera is, she know where to smile.
Thing worked well, but I think that blue swimsuit could have been better plain than embellished.
Without the frills on the neckline.
True.
Okay, so let's. Shall we start with the list, or should we go first with the comments muna?
We can go with the comments.
Let's go with the comments muna. Kasi medyo marami na yung mga nag-comments.
Thank you so much for joining us. We have 106 viewers as of the moment.
Yes, thank you so much. Okay. It's not working for me. Wait
We're
lang.
forgiven. Basta i-click mo ka ng Pandexes pag uwi ko dyan, call me. Good evening, Sir Jason, and to my namesake Mark. Thanks for the shout out earlier on IG. We'll wait for the spicy observations to comment tonight's live stream. We're gonna do 7 girls on our list, just like last time. But we're gonna mention, I think, some honorable mentions that we think might crack the 20s, the 10s. Which is a magic number on Sunday.
Okay. Volts Belacha, thank you very much for the generosity. I just received your gift. Thank you very much for supporting the channel. It really helps us.
Yes.
Okay. There's a comment here that I forgot that I was highlighting earlier. Okay. Sabi ni Marc Gonzalez. Good evening, Sir Jason, and to my namesake, Marc. Thanks for shout out earlier on IG. We'll wait for the spicy observation and comments for tonight. Yun na nga. Medyo, it's not because I am frustrated, but rather these are things that could have been avoided.
Totoo. At saka Diyos ko naman, 72nd edition.
Exactly.
72 years. We've been doing this for 72 years. What is it that we do not know? Oh my
And then,
God.
it's not like they haven't had to work with designers before for the swimwear designs, and somebody should have mentioned that these designs, they look good. They look good on a mannequin. They look good on probably a model, but on a different bodied woman, it might register differently. So why not let's design a shapely na swimwear
and more
that
friendly
is
to the feminine figure.
Exactly.
You know what? There's a part of the spiel that Arboni said earlier was that, yeah, Miss Universe is founded by a swimsuit company. Yun na nga, dahil bakit hindi nyo pa? I mean, you know it already, but you did not listen to your gut feeling. You did not evolve with the time. You know, it says, one thing that you're not feeling intent on doing that.
June says, Araneta City, I miss Cubao. Yes, we're in Araneta
always
City.
been here.
Yes.
This is our midpoint for us.
Yeah.
I think Romnick Parinya said, good evening, waiting for discussion about ganap sa prelims. We'll get that on a bit. June also said, wish ko on my birthday, the 5th Miss Universe crown of the Philippines. Hindi man ready ang Pilipinas for 5th crown. Kung nilaban tayo ni Miss Marcus, she deserves to win. She does, but the ball is not in our hands or anybody else's. But
okay.
There are certain things at play.
There's somebody who mentioned this, early on. The whatever channels said, I'm shocked, very low, very, very bad gowns, and start from there.
Horrendous. Terrible. Burned. Burned.
It's so difficult to say that the gowns are all good this year because they're not. There's a lot of experimentation that went in the gown design, I believe, for most of the girls, that I think the safe ones are the ones that are the commendable ones in this batch.
You know what? It's 2023. What is it that we do not know? We've been bashing each other left and right since God knows when, and still I can pull out dresses from 1998, 1997,
99, the Miriam Kiambao gown.
Dress.
Even the Badgely and Mishka gown of of Wendy Fitzwilliam. I mean, come on, that's classic.
Yeah,
I mean, let's go with Minorca Mercado.
But
That's a very...
speaking of, there are some certain references in the 90s that kind of came back tonight. And kind of, here's the thing, a lot of repeat in terms of inspiration and looks and understanding. For example, Myanmar wore a gold and a white dress that kind of reminded me of Brazil 1998's dress.
Was it 98?
98.
Yes.
The Bessie corset.
Yes.
And kind of felt that.
Her name is Michelle Marchi.
Michelle Marchi, yeah.
From Brazil.
But I think the Myanmar dress earlier was a better reason. I think Miss India, Shweta Sharda's
yes,
dress
I love that dress.
reminded me a bit of Neha Dupia in 2002.
Yeah, with the black cutouts and laces.
It gave that same energy too. I think Venezuela just reminded me the recent success in Miss International. The police retire. I mean, you've been doing that for the past 3 years.
But the French on her dress reminds me of her French dress during Miss Venezuela last year.
Exactly.
So I think
running out of inspiration, and let's address the white elephant in the room. Thailand wearing a design exactly the same silhouette
than
with
her
nationals, and the nationals look better than the universe one.
That I agree. But it was still a safe design that I think she went for in terms of dinaan niya sa presentation. That I think we can agree on.
Colombia
is another
getting another from the
miss,
catalog of Baraza on the same silhouette of white columnar dresses, trumpet skirts, and fully. Oh my God, these.
It's giving me Gabriela Tafor
again. Gabriela meets the Ariadna silhouette.
Yeah, Ariadna silhouette, the flared trumpet gown.
In the Philippines, a lot of people are asking the green number. It's pretty edgy, but it does remind us of something else that's not pageant pattern. I think that's a saving grace. Kind of reminds me of the Versace 2005 collection.
Yeah, I think it needs a little bit more soft movement on the hem of the gown.
Because, I mean, Marc is one of the Philippines' finest designers, but he's known for structure. But maybe that's also what Michelle is gunning for earlier, the structure there.
Yeah. Okay, so, balik muna tayo doon sa, sa ating agenda. So, let's talk about the swimsuit standouts.
Okay, the swimsuit standouts. I have my laptop here in front of me. So
Okay.
I have the list. So from batch 1, I think some of the guys I noted Angola did really good. Argentina kinda, Aruba not so. Australia surprised
yes.
me. But I think she's gonna be in the top 20, possibly top 10 even.
Australia didn't surprise me because I knew she had a great body. Her body proportions is very model-esque. So
Yeah.
she's a shoe in the top 10, top 20 for me.
How about Bahrain? That crazy dramatic movement. I'm sorry, Josh, if you're watching, but something I do not know how to feel about it. Like
There's too much movement
What is
because
this?
there's movement on the cape, there's movement on the kaftan. So probably if she makes top 10, top 20 for the semis, lose the cape.
I think she was a victim of the times because she was part of the group that is using the cape.
Yeah.
Well, whereas her partners,
Colombia onwards.
Pakistan is wearing kaftan too and blessed
Yeah.
with that white number. I see Brazil perform good there.
Yeah.
I think Cambodia, decent performance. Cameroon from Africa is also good. But we've been noticing Cameroonian girls for the past few years that they don't end up in the top. So I'm sad that I think she will not make it there. But she delivered some kind of. Well, Canada gave us a decent walk. So, and Chile.
For me, I only had Australia and Chile from the first group, and then I very narrowed it into less than 20 yung
I will
list
try
ko.
to narrow further.
Yeah. Colombia for me did well on the swimsuit round.
Oh, Nicaragua, honey. Serve slate burnt, left nothing, destroyed the runway. Nicaragua mas may best in swimsuit.
Agree.
There's no doubt.
But I don't necessarily agree that she's the best in swimsuit. For me, it's Michelle.
Wow.
Because great choice in the swimwear, great choice in the choreography and blocking. That is the reason why
The
Michelle is
confidence.
number 1 on my list.
But in
Swimwear.
fairness, on different angles of camera of Michelle's performance, it was pretty stellar performance. The way she did her pasarela and all. But for Shen is a little bit, I think, the mastery of the Latina stomp, you know? I haven't seen that walk for quite a while since
I think
Amelia, Zuleika. I kinda missed the era.
I think the Latinas hammed it out.
Colombia, hand on the waist. The placements of
Puerto
the
Rico,
foot.
come on. Puerto Rico. I mean, next to Michelle, I think Puerto Rico did spectacularly on the swimwear competition.
Wow, and wow.
Now, I want to touch on Dominican Republic. Wrong choice of swimwear,
But good
presentation. I think the ruffles need to go.
It really has to go.
Yeah, it really has to go.
She has to choose something like Michelle's and a different
Yes.
color.
Yeah.
That's gonna do her.
You know, I'm hoping that for the finals, they would have a different set of swimwear.
Yeah. But for our trans community sisters,
Portugal.
I think Netherlands did well as well.
No,
on
I
swim.
disagree.
Netherlands didn't do good on evening. Portugal did well on evening for me.
For me, Portugal did much better in both
But
areas.
Portugal's also on my list. But I said okay. But Netherlands is a surprise. That was my note. So
For me, Portugal is in my swimwear standouts and in my evening gown standouts.
there's some steady girls
So-
like Myanmar and Laos, which
Not on my list.
not on my list, but last year they were not on our list, but
Yeah,
there.
they did. Yeah,
So
they
I
were
have a
there.
feeling these are the girls that are gonna compare
Or-
sa top 20.
Or
yeah.
I'm thinking that the Friends of Kun An discount would probably make it into the semis this year.
Yeah. India did a spectacular presentation for swimsuit.
I know that India's always going to be a good performer on stage.
Yeah.
So I had no doubts about her.
She's gonna. I said India so in. So that's it.
She was never out.
She's never out.
On my list.
Venezuela.
Yeah,
that night.
very hard.
Very hard.
Miss Venezuela, so hard. In both the swimsuit and the evening gown competition.
Singapore gave me a surprise. She
On the
was under the radar, but
Yeah. She did not. I don't remember her on the swimwear competition, but on the evening gown competition with that very remember the very Amanda
It's Amanda
Obdam.
Obdam, yeah. That's very Amanda Obdam.
Yeah.
I think Russia also did good among the Europeans.
Ugly gown, gorgeous girl.
And a gorgeous face.
Yeah. Ugly
But
gown,
not-
but gorgeous girl.
But not Oksana level. Well,
Yeah.
USA is very polished as a Miss USA. I can see the Venezuelan element there.
I think I am more impressed with her evening gown presentation than her swimwear presentation. She was not on my list in my swimsuit standouts.
Yeah.
El Salvador, however, was there.
El Salvador is there. She's gonna be there not because she's the host country, but the girl is
Again, let's not discount the Magali Febles magic. Those two girls that she trained, that she is actually the national director for both El Salvador and Dominican Republic.
We talk about Mexico
So-
also is delivered, but not so much. It doesn't. She doesn't warm up to me.
Quiet confidence for Mexico. I think in terms of the performance, it was not something that is baklang bakla. For the lack of a better word, it was very polished, refined. And I think a lot of the girls went towards that kind of presentation that most pageant fans translate as no energy. But if you look at their technical skill, there was no wobbly registers. Their feet were always lands on the ground perfectly. And I can say that for Thailand, Mexico, and I would even say to a certain degree, Dominican Republic.
You know, this edition reminds me a lot of 2017 when a lot of girls that we haven't heard started placing the likes of Sri Lanka,
But that's because of the continental grouping.
But I can see some girls who might pull that string. See the Equatorial Guineas, the Ireland of this edition might just do that. So we're also looking out on this. But again, these are the under the radar girls.
Yeah.
Laos, Myanmar, Ireland, possibly Indonesia to some extent. But we heard a lot about Indonesia, so I think she's gonna be in.
Yeah, the Kunan friend discounts in.
Girl.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Honduras,
Honduras did really well.
great. She did I think for me, she did much better in swimwear than in gown. She didn't.
Guatemala.
She didn't. She did. Let me just go back to
Go,
Honduras. Honduras. Honduras didn't know what to do with her cape for the evening gown. So I'm deducting points on her for that in the evening gown competition.
Let's talk about Nepal. How do you
Nepal.
rate? Because our body is different from what we're used to. I'm judging Nepal on the walk. Because you can be plus size and be confident. I'm feeling something's there. Like there's a lack of, not lack of confidence. There's something on her mind while walking.
For me, I think she registered just adequately fine. She did well for both swim and evening gown. I think her stronger presentation was on the evening gown.
Yeah, agree.
Okay,
Dresses.
Namibia.
Namibia.
Namibia is on my list. Strongest, probably one of the strongest
African?
Africans in the swimwear
But not
competition.
as strong as Brioni Govinda.
I think Namibia did much better than Brioni in the swimwear competition.
But we
Brioni
also-
did better in the swimsuit.
And for sure at the
In the
closed
evening
doors.
gown. In the evening gown,
Sa
yeah.
closed doors, we may not see.
Yeah.
But we already know who the girls might deliver based on his best resume post. If you want to learn about that, go back to that post so you learn who are the girls that may potentially spill the soup in the pot
Yeah.
based on their resumes alone.
Yeah. How about, have we discussed Puerto Rico's performance?
Yeah, we said that.
Yeah,
the,
I think
are
so.
next to, you said next to Nicaragua and Dominicans.
So let's talk about Spain.
It's good in swim.
In swim, yeah, I agree.
One of the
She,
best Europeans.
she has a stronger presentation at swim than on evening gown. The evening gown, I'm not a fan of the pink
Very
and
Sherry Hill.
silver.
It reminded me of the Sherry Hill era.
Yeah, the 2014 era, 2015 era, yeah.
Plummy.
And I would have loved her hair down for the
Yeah, not
evening
the
gown.
bun is not working.
Yeah.
But I honestly felt she kind of faded
A little bit,
as we went to the competition.
yeah. But maybe she did just well enough in the preliminaries. What do you think?
Because Spain last year was
Quiet, but
Quiet, but
but she got in. Yeah.
so this one started pretty strong. So maybe my expectation was just too high because She started out really, really strong at the beginning. And the daughters of España, like Colombia, are the ones that I see her toughest competition. But if you compare her to the Latinas, somewhat but not quite.
Yeah.
More like Brazil.
More like in the middle.
Yeah, more like the Brazil energy, the Argentinas.
But Spain speaks well.
She does.
So
I believe the closed doors were
especially you have to understand, Spain speaks well in her native tongue. I'm not sure if she's very conversant or even very fluent in English. But if you hear her Telemundo interviews, she does speak very spectacularly.
The gowns. We're gonna go to the gowns. We're gonna read some of the comments first.
Okay, let's read some of the comments. Wait, it's buffering again on my end.
Mine, I see a Gamerholic said evening gown stand out before. We move to the evening gown.
Okay.
Gamerholic said for evening gown, swimsuit is Philippine, Nicaragua, and Venezuela. We mentioned all these girls. For evening gown, it's Philippine, Nicaragua, Ukraine, Colombia, and Peru.
Okay. Sir Ronan is here. Hello, Sir Ronan. Sabi niya, Sir, hello, Sir Jason. Late ako, hehe. Anyway, stand out kanina si Nicaragua and aminin, very classy si Michelle D. AJ Bell says, talk about India. We already did. We were telling that she's the immediate shoe-in the semis.
Yeah, she'll definitely be there. Top 10. Jomar Galvan, Nicaraguan Philippines. Her performance, Nepal crowd loves her. Thailand lost her glow or spark.
Wait. Nasaan na tayo? Art Laurent, grabe, I'm a Michelle Marquez D convert. Before, I don't believe that she's crown worthy, but now I think she is a super crown worthy. Okay, okay, let me just preface this first. The evening gowns this year for me is something that I've seen in the past. I've seen in the past 5-10 years. That is why I am not much of a fan of the gowns this year. In fact, if you're gonna ask me just one person who was a standout in the evening gown competition, I would tell you it's for me Miss Pakistan. Miss Pakistan, Erica Robin, with her veil that looks like a traditional, Muslim veil. Made me focus on her very gorgeous face.
It was nice, but I just wish it was in color.
For me, I didn't mind that it wasn't in color, because for me, the focus on the entire time was her face. And with a face like that looks like a cross between Alexa Virles from Miss Universe 2013, I think Bolivia, and Janik Maceta. I think you have a winner in this competition.
I just wish
plus, it was
also not good in the Desi world.
It was a Fern Amato gown.
It is.
It was a Fern Amato gown.
Bahrain, I think, is wearing. Bahrain is.
I think it's Michael
There's
Cinco.
another Amato girl also, aside from. I think Egypt is wearing an Amato as well. I have a note here.
I think so. Because Josh Yugen
Egypt
mentioned.
Is fine. She's wearing Amato. It's fine on my note.
I think all the Yugen girls are wearing Amato this year.
Because Josh will not settle for any less Dubai or nothing.
Yeah, and I think the reason also that I like the gown of Pakistan, it's because it reminds me of the the extensions on the veil doon sa gown ni Nicole Borromeo at Miss International with the hemline. I think the embellishment is pretty much the
But
same.
that's the same embellishment present also in Thailand's evening gown.
No, the one with Thailand is different because those were strung beads.
Beads, not the plastic.
Not the plat. Yeah.
Yeah, but you don't like Canada, but I kinda like her red dress.
I like Canada.
The evening gown of Canada was pretty strong in that batch. I know.
Yes, Canada is in my list.
Brazil killed her
Best
chances with that gown. No.
It was unfortunately the yellow gown did not flatter her at well. It felt like
you should have called Vina Pravinar and borrowed hers, and
it it felt like it's a quinceañera gown.
Exactly.
It's not a dig against the Latinos calling it a quinceañera gown, but it looked more appropriate for a formal event rather than a competition
I
gown.
kind of disagree as well. That gown is cheap.
Oh my God!
Yeah,
Shots fired.
Albania, though unpopular, opening the evening gown at the
No.
white number is pretty
Silver.
dramatic. I
Yeah.
kind of like it. I think it was
Albania was
fun.
not in my list. Angola, however, is there.
Angola went back to the days of Alexandre Dutra kind of
Yeah.
beadwork. I love it. I missed it when Angola used to wear his creations. Who also used to dress as Mrs. Brazil.
Australia made me feel like it was Renee Iris
We're
all over
2012
again.
all over again. You see,
It also gave me this feeling that it was similar to that of Patricia Llorena in 2013.
the fishtail is nice.
And the tool was like,
other
yeah.
people were not, they're
I
not.
don't think
big on
I
that.
don't think a lot of people will go on board on that because it looks like it's a wedding dress.
Dominican Republic though. Speaking of wedding, Korea. No, stop.
Okay,
Whatever it is, stop.
I don't have Korea in my list at
No,
all.
Korea is not on my list, but it was horrible with the wedding gown. It's a wedding gown there.
Okay.
I think
You mentioned Dominican Republic or was it El Salvador?
Dominican Republic
Dominican Republic.
is good. I'm not really good because a lot of people has mixed emotions.
Yeah.
But I know that the baby blue dress is a tribute to the gemstone Larimar, which is native to Dominican Republic. That was the first thing that came to my mind.
You mentioned actually
Or whatever channel said, Dominican Republic maybe. See?
Yeah. Mark earlier mentioned that the presentation of Mariana of Dominican Republic was closer to that presentation of Olesia Stefanco in Miss Universe 2012. Which, when he mentioned that, I was like, okay, yeah, I kind of see that because she did not do extra movements. It was just she went through, glided through the stage, did not do anything fuzzy on the cape or the sleeve extension.
No playfulness.
No
whatsoever.
playfulness. It was just like focus on me, on my face, and
And I'm beautiful. You look,
Yeah.
you look at here.
my problem with her is that she did not milk her moment. She should
I
have.
think there was a question about the blocking. That
Yeah.
she miss it. But you know what? The amount of time she had to expose herself.
Registered well.
Registered well.
Registered well.
Colombia, strong in her swim, but kind of underwhelming just because of the templated dresses. She
Yeah.
have gone away. I
But
thought they were
still,
changing-
she makes my list.
Oh, she is Miss Colombia. after
Yeah.
all.
I think she went for a safe gown, but maybe these are the times where you need to go risky
Yes.
and do something different.
You
for
know
a
what?
change.
Nobody's talking about her, but I think Costa Rica might surprise us.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Costa Rica is one of the girls that could.
I like her swimsuit presentation,
Both, even the evening.
but the evening gown was too Miss Grand for me with the green and gold
But you can never
and
be
the
too
so
sure.
many skin and skin that is showing. I would say that Costa Rica is one of the beautiful blondes this year. So maybe we might not notice it. She might come into the semifinals.
Yes. El Salvador is giving me Zuleika Rivera, but I don't know what
Yes.
that design is. But you know what? She carried it well. But I think her swimsuit is far better than
her evening gown.
Gown.
Yeah, I think the gown for me was this like just okay, just fine. In a sea of very meh gowns, her presentation was, at least for me, interesting to note.
You don't like Guatemala, you said. I like her.
I don't like her
She
gown.
don't like the gown, but I like
It looks like it's a matron of honor gown or a mother of the bride gown for me.
But I kind of like it. It's different. The structure is fresh.
I like the color combination though,
Yeah, blue and yellow.
but the silhouette is a little bit mother of the bride.
yeah, I just like the strong sewn
Yeah.
beading.
Maybe if there were, you know what would have made that dress work? If you look at the last two fashion shows of Alexander McQueen by Sarah Burton, the one with the bandage dress, that could have been something
The
that they could
last
have
three
done.
appearances of Naomi Campbell were in that collection.
Yeah.
yeah.
And Naomi cried during Sarah Burton's last
the silver
show.
one, and then she wore the green one during the Vogue London
Yeah.
world tour with the other 3 supermodels outing. Iceland gave me Versace and that dress. Indonesia's a nice gown, but she don't know how to wear that one. The gown wore her. And we know how our feelings.
Maybe because Indonesia, Fabian is short. So probably they needed to find a gown that does not overwhelm her. That's not too much in terms of fabric, so that it does not engulf her.
But girls like that should wear something like Sonia Fergina's. I think that will be working on her advantage. Some fluidity.
Or Bunga Jalitas.
I love them. Yes, that plain pink number is.
You mentioned Myanmar.
Oh, girl, Myanmar.
Somebody mentioned Myanmar in the comment section earlier.
Myanmar, I said, remember, it reminded me of 1998. So, the designer knows the references and modernize it.
Maybe that Mariela or Michaela Marchi Marchi dress with the Grecian thingy, it might still work in today.
It was ahead of its time.
Maybe who knows, maybe it's an Alexandria Dutra also.
Yeah, I mean that gold top bustier was more of a super.
It looks like a Xena the Warrior Princess armor.
We have been reminded by Myanmar. I think Myanmar is going to make the top 20 this year. I think this will be their second time to place in the top 20.
I would not be surprised if she makes it. It would be a pleasant surprise for me.
I think for the Southeast Asian girls might be doing strong. I think Laos, Myanmar, Philippines, and Thailand are sure placers. I know about Indonesia, Malaysia, not really. Singapore might surprise us. So entirely, Vietnam, I'm so sorry, this is not your year.
It was giving to me like a copycat Henny.
Cambodia, it's also not your year. You weren't able to carry things right.
But Pakistan for me did well.
And we're talking about Pakistan. Let's go to the neighboring country, India. Hello.
I mean, the moment that she yeah.
You know what? It reminded me of the memes that were released because of the Indian serials. When you slap the actress, turn around in the curtain, flip the neck.
Yeah. Oh my God.
That drama was brought in the right place tonight in El Salvador.
And I don't know why, but there were some Indian pageant fans on my page who were a little bit like feeling down, or probably not feeling that India has a high chance, and were asking me what are my thoughts. India never left my list.
She has always been there.
She has always been there in my top 10, top 20.
The pageant opening, we were discussing about Shweta's chances. I think we initially placed her at number 9 or 10. Right? Yeah. So
she never left. So I don't think there's a reason to doubt her at this point in time. She delivered.
Italy's dress is nice. It's soft. It's smooth.
What is it about these European girls that are not delivering the fashion? Considering that you have Paris, you have Milan, you have London.
Oh wait, France just entered the chat.
Oh God.
Whatever she did was horrible. I'm sorry, girl. You might be our El Tucuyo this year, but
I love Diane, but that gown, that pasarela,
horrible.
that swimsuit presentation, it was not giving me placement. It was not placement material for me. So let's hope that she kills it on the closed door interview, because that is her saving grace.
Yes, you love Mexico, but
I love
reminds
Mexico.
me of Sofia Aragon too much. The styling, the color.
For me, the gown was like Sofia Aragon in color, but it reminded me of there's this collection by Michael Cinco where he did like the church panels.
The impalpable dream of
something.
Dubai, I think.
I'm not sure what the
I think that's the impalpable
collection.
dream of Dubai. The one, the collection that Ashwarya wore in the
Yes,
contest.
that reminded me of Mexico's gown, and I think the hair pulled back because there's detail here, the neckline, made me think that that was a great decision, because it did not fight for attention in terms of her face. And the way
brunette though, kaya siguro na kasi Sofia with the way
probably and the way that she delivered her performance, that it was elegant, sophisticated, without too much movement. Unlike unlike other girls that had so much unnecessary hand movements, leg movements, there was nothing to pinpoint in Mexico's presentation that would mean that, oh, this girl has like an extra energy, because she controlled the energy, and I think that what makes her look very queenly in her presentation.
I like that. Totally shoe in.
Yeah. And I remember in the movie, the one with Nicole Kidman, the biopic of Grace Kelly, where the one who's training her to be more princessly like mentioned that you have too much movements, and every movement that is not needed is a waste of energy.
Now that you mentioned being princess-like, Nepal wore something like princess-like tonight. That velvet beaded, it's intricate, it's elaborate. I think Nepal's choices is something that serviced her look. I like that she's not forcing. I think this is where Anjali Scott Kimmis
Missed last
in
year.
2021.
21.
This is where she missed it because she's trying to fit her mold onto the contemporary standard with the present body that she has. Whereas Jane P. Garrett doesn't want. Maybe she might place. To me, I think she might not because of other things, other reason. I don't want to be judgy, but you know.
Yeah.
But
With the not so flattering videos.
that came around, you know how attitude becomes more of a matter of fact in judging one's character and your ability to take on the ground.
Yeah.
But overall, from basing her presentation, it was a decent one. It's enough to land her in the top 20. I hope she does. You know, it's a follow-up from 2018. I think they haven't played since then.
Yeah.
That's a good
17.
18, Catriona.
No, it's Sri Lanka in 2017. Yeah,
17,
yeah, correct. It's 18.
So that's nice.
Yeah.
I think
Portugal. How about Portugal?
I like the floral.
The flower, yeah.
I mean, it's her character. She's transgender. She's representing color, the vibrance of the community, and it's something that she can carry. So why not? I mean, after all that, and she did move well along with that design.
Yeah.
Now I think one of the questions that a lot of people are waiting: Philippines,
I love the top part, not much on the bottom.
green. It's an homage to the mom, to the cousin who won international titles.
I like the cutouts, except I wanted more movement on the hem.
Yeah, because I said, Marc Baumgartner, the designer, is known for structure.
And somebody posted on Sash Factor earlier that Michelle was asked to go back on stage and to have like a award, and mentioned that it probably is the Carnival Spirit Award, which is the sponsor award. There's no word yet on it apparently, and I probably jumped the gun.
Tomorrow. No, but somebody congratulated her during the press con right after it.
Oh.
So I think that's an affirmation of something that's exclusive.
So at least we did not, leak it.
Yeah, but I think that's the reason why we felt like she's being noticed, and she will be way up there on Sunday. Some other girls are looking. Singapore, channeling Amanda Hobdam.
Yeah. Spain, nice presentation, gown not so much.
I like Slovakia's freshness in that lavender number. The purple gown is good. But
I can't remember her.
That's enough to save her.
Yeah.
Your Brayoni, South Africa.
Yes. The moment that I heard... Okay, you first.
But there's no... I think too much boxiness on the body.
Okay.
I want shapes.
I like it because when it was mentioned that the gown that she will be wearing will be the designer who designed the gown of Lalela at Miss Supranational, the one with the fringe.
Oh, see, I have higher standards than that, because that was Naomi Campbell moment, honey.
I was like, I am setting up myself to expect more. The gown delivered. I am not sure if it was the right gown for Brioni.
But she carried it well.
She carried it well, so I think it's a safe. She will coast safely into the top 5 for me.
Yeah, Thailand. Yeah, we spoke about it earlier. I'm not a fan of the fact that it felt like a copy of what worked in Bangkok, but not seeing what we saw in Bangkok. It was underwhelming for me.
For me, it was a safe choice because it allowed her to do what she needed to do for her presentation. So at least for me, I think it served its purpose.
Well, if it does,
Yeah.
then let it be. I mean, but I think I want to be fair. If she's gonna make it to the top on Sunday, that at
She will be
least-
changing her gown. That I know for sure.
but at least give us something, not nothing, because there's nothing spectacular I saw tonight in Antonia's performance that I haven't seen
Or
in the Miss Thailand pageant.
Or I think that because everyone is so damn like microscopic in the scrutiny of Antonia, anything that she does is going to be disappointing for all pageant fans. I think that there is a dimension of that in this conversation we need to acknowledge.
Somebody mentioned that the lack of pressure from Vina and Jazzy Tutor give us that Antonia energy. I kind of believe that. Because to be honest, if Jazzy is here, she would be performing just as fabulous as the other girls. I think she would be as vocal, but she will not be a heavy favorite. So therefore, Jazzy would put in much more effort to bring it on. Because she's not a Latina wannabe.
But then again, fans would say, "Oh, she's like doing so much. She's too pabibo. She's too overacting."
Thailand is
So
like that. I mean, we've seen that so many times.
that's the thing. I think that the criticism on Antonia is more of a function of because they are our direct competitor rather than we are evaluating her with fairness and with fresh set of eyes. So I think maybe if we are going to look at it, we need to look at it from a perspective of an observer rather than, oh, this is a threat to my candidate, so I'm going to tear her
I think
down.
Overall, she did well. I mean,
She did well,
she's been
definitely.
doing well,
Considering the pressure.
but it's not exceptional.
For me, I think with the pressure,
The Thailand campaign is far more exceptional. Because remember,
yeah,
when
I
we
agree
did
on the
our
MUT. Yeah,
Our pre-preliminary, pre-Miss Thailand assessment, whoever wins Miss Thailand is the presumptive
Miss Universe.
And she lived up to that.
Yeah,
Until she went to El Salvador, things turned around. And this is the test of how you're going to be. Now, if you put her side by side with other girls, you started seeing other girls better than her. That's not an indication. I'm not putting Catriona as a standard here. It's another level. But it's just like, on a level page, you see Dominican Republic versus her would be, you see Mariana.
yeah.
I could see Carla beside her. They were
Yeah.
together. The other day, there were videos circulating. They were chatting, discussing, possibly, sharing their experiences post Miss Supranational. On a good note, I think si Hui Sankosik and Gerard Panzutka, Von Lipinski had a conversation already. They mended their
yes.
ways. What happened with Antonia's bid to be the next Miss Universe after winning Miss Supranational 2019. So yes.
So maybe, I think the conversation surrounding Antonia is going to always be heated. I think that is the reason why people will navigate towards her. That is also the reason why, whether it's positive or negative comments on her, it bolsters her energy because the energy is there on her. So I think this is the reason why we should be scared of what she can deliver. If she will deliver, come finals.
She should. If she did, no questions asked. But speaking of energy, another energetic girl in the batch, the last one, Venezuela is
Venezuelan hard.
So hard.
So hard.
I don't know what to feel about it.
And it started not in this competition, but it started during the Telemundo. You remember the Telemundo
it starts
early?
becoming, I don't know, Venezuela started becoming comical to some extent. Okay,
But there's nothing comical in her presentation
girl. That
today.
may be bland for some eyes, but it's some serious business.
Yes.
That presentation is good. I'll just let go of the cake.
Yeah, I agree.
But the gown itself is spectacular.
I think the gown itself can carry her
And she's
well.
tall, modeles, very Venezuela.
Plus-
but I love the swimsuit presentation better than the evening gown because
Yeah.
ngayon ulit nakakita ng S-line, ng Latina, yung tindig na
The Eva Ekval, the what's her name? Oh my God, Carolina Indriago levels of S-line.
Yung
Yes.
not Minorca, the girl before Minorca,
Milka Cholina.
Milka Cholina, which
Yeah.
is the best back
Yeah.
curve of them all.
So
So I think we've reached the end of evening gown. Before we go to our final 7, we have to read on some of the
yeah,
comments.
okay. Let me go on my.
Saan tayo natigil? Dito sa may
Hindi ko na maalala actually where
Mother Angela Salazar, Dominican Republic doesn't know her blocking script thought spot. We've addressed that earlier. I think whatever exposure she had is enough cover for that. In this performance, we praise her to high heavens, honey.
Yeah.
Ashton,
Okay, Travel Jackie is asking, any European that is memorable? France is a letdown for me. Look at Spain, looking at Portugal.
Netherlands possibly.
I'm not looking at Netherlands,
I'm looking at her.
unfortunately.
Ireland could surprise
Ireland,
you.
yes.
And Italy, maybe, but not really. Yeah.
Okay.
Did you watch your prelims earlier? Of course we did. How can we talk about it? Who else? Tingin niyo po ba pasok sa top 3 si MMD? We will reach our final 7 earlier.
Yeah.
Tignan mo kung papasok doon.
Kasi as of now, it's so difficult to rank the girls based on just
Hirap.
their
Alam mo, kaya kami
preliminary
pati na-late.
performance.
Andito na kami kaya na pa 8:20. So, we were listing our final 7, nagtatalo tayo na.
And our final 7 looks like this. Ang daming bura.
Mine is like
Yeah,
studio of
it's moving every now and then.
Yeah, so KG
So-
naman said, Mami Tonyang reminds me of Celeste's performance, much pasabog.
Okay.
Underwhelming prelims performance, I don't think so. Antonia's pasabog started even before she left. So, on that level, mas malaki yung effort na tinaya ni Antonia than Celeste. I have to give it to Antonia.
Yeah. Okay, Mitsuko Ogata says, this is a very interesting point, Mitsuko, that you pointed out. She said that had Antonia been a runner-up from another pageant system, the nitpicking on her performance won't be as intense as it is. I agree. I think that's the unfairness of the situation, but it is what it is. We have to deal with it. And I think Antonia is dealing with it spectacularly. Despite all of the comments, the negative comments surrounding her, it doesn't seem like it's affecting her performance, her overall, drive to win the crown. So kudos on her for that.
Yeah.
Okay.
MMD looks like Miss China in 2017 and 2013. Sinabi ko sa akin,
Okay.
Ginny eh. Totoo yun, I agree. Let's do add.
The Whatever Channel says, I feel Mexico in top 5 at best, top 3. You will be happy because she is in my list.
Oh, not mine. Costa Rica is giving queen vibes. I told you. That's from Whatever Channel. My winner during the prelims is Germany. Honey. I don't know what to say, but yeah. Kwento mo yan, that's yours. You guys, Dominican Republic came in private jet, giving queen vibes and start. We'll talk in terms of physicality since I'm facially superior sa MGI. I don't think so. Venezuela seems steadily climbing, nakakatakot. Venezuela is Venezuela.
Yeah.
Keep that in mind. Honestly, does audience impact really impact judging GU Kin? Because if so, would it propel Nicaragua and Tana almost instantly? Would it be MME's downfall? No. No.
Which
There are
one?
so many times in the past that audience impact is very, very high and the MUA is not afraid to shut you down.
But
Diba?
it can help
It
during
can
the
help,
finals.
But they don't even care if they wanna piss you off.
Yeah. Oh well.
Ang daming Pilipino sa New Orleans last year. Di pa kayo natuto. Ang daming Thai din doon. Oh. Portugal eating gown reminded me of Billy Hackerson in the preliminary competition of the white. I think mas extravagant to than that Louis Pangilinan number.
I don't remember that.
It's the white one shoulder piece.
Honestly, I don't remember that.
Well, that era's disaster. Shut it. I'm sorry. South Africa being hating on food? No, I don't think it's hating. You have to watch the entire video, to be fair.
I think that was a failed attempt at humor.
Yeah.
Okay. I think that we've read that. Listen, in general, all gowns not attracting me, at least in my taste. Ugly gowns done. Okay, Antonia and Michelle will with good gowns, but good from them is devastating. The big shock in Antonia's same dress. JUP, I think Tonian's presentation was a safe one. Very controlled and calculated, and yes, I agree, it's not the most spectacular presentation, but her charisma is undeniable. Here's the thing, you just have to post to make top 20. If we are going to look at it from the perspective of, is it safe enough of a performance to make her into the top 20? Yes. But if you are going to base that as your main judgment for the Miss Universe title, probably not. The thing here is, before they make it to the top 5, top 3, they have to make top 20 first. So if we're talking top 20, no matter how many criticisms we have on these ladies, if they make it top 20, they're safe.
Yeah, they have
and at this,
of winning this.
And I think right after the preliminaries, the top 20 has already been selected.
Yes.
Yeah.
So, before we go to the top 7, gawin natin 10, but let's name 3 girls that we might think could spoil the broth, aside from this team. 7 girls.
The 7 girls.
I'll
oh my
start
God.
mine.
You start yours. Sige.
I think El Salvador is going to get one of the spot in the top 10. Mexico is going to be one of them. I'm thinking of another one that could surprise, because there's always that one girl out of nowhere. You know, the Iceland of 2019.
Yeah.
The girls that's why sometimes like that. I would possibly give that to somebody like no, I'm gonna be safe. I'm gonna give that to Venezuela.
Okay, because as of this moment, I am having a hard time numbering them.
Yeah.
Like, who are the 3 girls? Because there's Australia, there's Spain, there's, to a certain degree, I am still thinking that there's a possibility that I might see Jamaica there. Jamaica is a medical doctor.
But she kind of faltered in her...
In the evening gown. The swimsuit was okay. So, maybe Jamaica. I think Jamaica would be a safe one. Because
or possibly Zimbabwe, but in the 20. Possibly top 20, not in the...
Here's the thing. There is Penny Commission there. So there should be at least one girl from the Caribbean who makes the top 10.
Why not Trinidad and Tobago? But Trinidad and Tobago was a disaster in the gown.
Yeah.
It was very, very wrong. I don't think Trini will place...
So Jamaica is... I think Jamaica is going to be safe.
Jamaica is the only viable...
Aside from Puerto Rico.
Or Aruba. What do you say about Aruba? Curacao is...
I think Curacao did well. They just
will it be good enough to put you in there? Because Curacao was top 5 last year.
Yeah. I think Curacao would be interesting if we see her in the top 10.
Sabi ni Luan, Indonesia can spoil PBH top 20. That's the most.
Sino?
Indonesia.
No comment. Next question, please.
I think that's gonna be like the Lao, Myanmar, and Indonesia in the top 20. The Michelles, the Antonias.
I think the Kun An family discount will, if it does make a play this year, at least one girl from Indochina will make the semis.
Yeah, but you know what? I said Venezuela in the top 10. That could not be possible too, because even in remember 2021 when Luisette Materan was like one of the best walkers, and then
but she faltered when she was already in Eilat, she started to like lose steam.
But she placed.
But she
did not progress to the top 10. So that could also happen. So those are the girls.
How about Camila Vela in the top 10? Colombia.
Top 20 is safe for Camila.
Really?
Yeah.
I mean, don't you think that the Miss Universe will not milk the mother moment? I mean, they started the...
I think Guatemala would also be in the top 20. But how would be? After top 20, they're gonna do swimsuit. That could put Camila Avella on the higher sound because
Okay, since the top 10 is so
dense in pack.
yeah,
Gonna give it to the
I am hoping that at least 2 Yugen girls would make semis.
What? Yugen girls?
Yeah,
I think the safest Yugen girls
it's Pakistan.
Egypt would be the next.
But then again, Bahrain is a very strong speaker.
I don't think so. They don't like
Because of the Israeli-Palestinian war?
But that's another elephant in the room. I don't think anyone did dare talk about the Israeli-Palestinian
Yeah.
conflict. And you have voice for change.
maybe,
Who are you joking?
maybe they might have someone that is, Middle Eastern,
Talk about it.
to talk about it.
Or maybe
There's
the
no mis- there's,
Bukele government may do something.
there is no Israel this year. Okay,
Yeah, so that it's but maybe in the final question there might be
there might be something there.
something
Yeah.
there.
So we have to expect an Israeli-Palestinian conflict question.
which is like so divisive.
Yeah.
That could really break your chances of.
Yes. The only way that anyone can coast safely with that question is to focus on who the victims are. I think that's the safest way,
Yeah.
without specifically mentioning a
Again,
nationality.
Everybody's a victim as they
Yeah.
claim to be. So the justification is where it matters. And so
Top 7.
top 7.
I'll start. El
Go.
Salvador, number 7 in my list.
She's in my top 10, right?
She, I think the Magali girls are gonna kill this season. I think that Magali prepared them well, considering that they only had months to prepare. And if that kind of transformation we can see with Isabella and Mariana, I'm assuming one of them will probably make top 5, top 3.
Yeah, I'm gonna give it to Bryony Govender of South Africa for the 7th place. I know she's high on your list. I can see it.
You're live
So,
there.
yeah, you're live. So, Bryony is in my number 7 because I don't think she'll be allowed to
Progress
any
further.
further.
Okay.
Because we know what happens when the South Africa's in the top 5, right?
Yeah.
So 6th place.
I have within striking distance Michelle in my top 5, in my 7.
What is it that will not allow her to get in the top 5?
The judges. I am not convinced that this is a panel of judges that will select another Filipina.
But we
In the
have
list.
to take note. But there's a Connie Marian. Dr. Connie Marian is being
Everyone is saying that she's American. So
She is.
I am managing my expectations that if she makes top 5, top 3, well and good. I am happy for that. But let's not expect too much, because last year a lot of you expected so much, and we know what happened
Because
there.
a girl did not deliver as much either. Right?
So
So in my 6th place, India.
yeah,
Because for the same reason that you were mentioning, she might not be allowed to get in there because I know Shweta's power. Her mind, what she speaks out, game over. I don't think Kunan, after the Harnasandu reign, would like another Indian to be there. But I think they would
It's
love
so
to
sad
give-
for Asians.
It could be something that could give representation
Yeah.
for, and it's worth it to put an Indian woman of such caliber high up there. It's a crime not to include her within the striking distance of the crown. But again, 6th or 7th place, you can easily went in depending on Lady Luck.
Yeah,
if it's on
exactly.
your side. Yeah.
exactly. Never left on my top 5 is South Africa's Bryony Govender. Lawyer, speaks powerful, did spectacular on the preliminaries.
Yeah, she did.
So
Performance really.
it's kind of hard not to take notice of that. Plus her resume, my God, that kind of resume, a Miss Universe, you know,
That's
it's
why it could
easy
also-
to package
It could
that
also
kind of
work
resume.
for your disadvantage because they already know what you can bring. So if the one way to stop a person like that is not to invite them to the party. So that's possible. But for you,
That's possible, yeah.
Thank you very much to that.
You're number 5.
Number 5 is the Philippines. Special Marquez. Why? I am not putting her within crown distance because one, no
Do you-
matter how good she performed, I'm still asking myself the question, what can she do for the organization?
Or what can the Philippines do for the organization that we haven't done yet?
If it's the advocacy autism is something that she could sustain with or without the title, and believe Miss Universe will still support her on that.
With the Voice of Change, they
Change.
probably will be giving her one of the gold
Yeah.
thingy for Voice
I think
of
she'll be
Change.
one of the 3 gold medalists tomorrow. I think that's when we'll learn about it.
Yeah,
I think
they
she
will mention it in the
also-
finals.
Oh, okay. I think one of the
Yeah.
things that she could do, because they mentioned Saturday, I forgot we're on the different
Time zone, yeah.
And another one is, what else? The Filipino power is not as strong anymore. Versus Thailand, I think we don't have the ability to bring in money
Yeah,
to the organization and the personality of Michelle Lee. However, she has the star power to pull it through.
yeah,
So if she gets
agree.
in, she may be given a difficult question, a tricky one, but just to play it safe for me, put her in the top 5 at least for her. I mean, be on the 5th spot and the rest will be Michelle's.
Yeah.
If it's really for Michelle, she'll go further.
Yeah.
If not, top 5 is a rightful place for her to be.
Okay. Number 4 on my list is Mexico. Mexico is a director of tourism in her hometown. She has a what do you call that? She has already she already had her TED talk with regards to dating violence. She performed very cleanly in all aspects of the presentation competition part, swimsuit and evening gown.
Yes.
She speaks very well in Spanish. She can also communicate in English, much like Andrea Mesa. She is a Miss Earth alum, so that in itself is a powerhouse.
Yeah.
I think that despite the fact that if people are saying, oh, it's just Lupita is no longer gonna have the franchise next year, then they're not gonna crown her. Then let's also put into the table the rumor that Kun An sold portions of the shares of the Miss Universe organization to a Mexican businessman. So if we're going to base our judgment on Melissa based on a rumor that Lupita is no longer going to have the franchise, then let's also put another rumor on the table, which is the Mexican ownership. So it balances itself out. So I am still thinking that among the Miss Earth girls this year, Melissa is the better choice over Diana.
Well, I don't have that energy to support the Mexican campaign, but I believe kasi that there are far other Latinas who perform really, really better than her to some extent. And speaking of from one alumni to another alumni, I'm gonna give the 4th place to Nicaragua, Shanice Palacios, because she has been making waves consistently, not just because of her impressive resume, because of the Beauty with a Purpose campaign she had back at Miss World. She was a Miss World semi-finalist. She speaks really, really well, both in English and in Spanish. She's a style icon in Nicaragua. She's also a TV personality. She has a good backing for herself. But throughout the competition, she was steadily
Inconsistent for me.
Inconsistent, but she was never ignored.
Yeah, she was never
She was never
ignored.
ignored.
That I can get.
And when that happens, a girl like that's like, where is she again? A lot of people are looking for Nicaragua. And I think in a Central American setting as this one, the best Latina delivering this within the region is Nicaragua. Next is El Salvador. And so I think Nicaragua will be battling the Centroamericana orgullo for the competition in El Salvador. So I think Nicaragua is one of the best bet to be right there, about to clinch the
Miss Universe
force for good crown
Okay.
of Muawad.
Okay, we're now in our top 3.
Nagbaliktaran tayo, alam mo ba?
Talaga?
Yes. We have the same top 3.
We have the same top 3 again. Okay, wait lang. Yes. Okay.
Ito na naman tayo.
Ito na naman tayo. You know, when this happened, this usually happened naman talaga eh. Why are we surprised?
Oo,
I mean, we had the same thing with Harnaz. We had the same thing with
nagtagulo lang tayo
Amanda
sa
and
Colombia ko noong 2011 because Colombia was in the top 5. I
Yeah.
put her second runner-up. But
So,
ito na naman tayo.
ito na naman tayo. Okay.
Sige, go third.
Alam mo, tingin ko, aawayin tayo ng mga fans because of our top 3.
Oo, di awayin mo. Okay ko ba? Do I even care?
Okay, okay, on my top 3, Dominican Republic's Mariana Downing. And here's the reason why. Despite what fans think as a lackluster performance during the finals, I thought her presentation was clean. It was devoid of unnecessary movements. She did very, how to say this, very smooth presentation of route. I think her swimsuit was weaker compared to her evening gown because the evening gown, it was channeling, you know, Olesya Stafanko gliding on the stage moment. For me, she probably got confused with the blocking, but then again, she delivered strongly well enough on that mere 5 seconds, 6 seconds that she was on stage for people to remember her. And for judges, if the judges have already been impressed with her credentials at the closed-door interviews, it doesn't matter if you did not perform as strongly or you did not perform the best in the preliminaries because they have already made up their minds that you are going to make top 20. And the reason for that is because since 2016, I have been telling this to everyone who would dare listen to my channel that 60% of the scores is on the interviews. And if she nailed her interviews well, talked about her resume, you know, the fact that she volunteered in Haiti, she was a Habitat for Humanity volunteer. She also is well connected, Hollywood and Latino community wise. Her claim to fame is actually several years ago before Marc Anthony married Nadia Ferreira. She dated, they both dated for quite some time.
I know.
She also is very, what do you call this, very commercial. She has worked with Chanel, with Estee Lauder, Calvin Klein, and several other big brands. So in terms of achievements, from a very young age, at 17, she was already financially independent from her family, considering that her family is a family of diplomats. Her father is a diplomat.
Indeed.
And if you're going to crown a girl who has the face, the body, the presentation skills, the connections, that's the girl that you're going to pick. So I am not discounting, you know, other factors in my choice of Mariana.
Okay. That's well accepted. Well, Mariana is indeed a force to reckon with. She's my modern day Chrissy Turlington. I love that supermodel from back in the day. But
So who's your number 3?
on my number 3, okay, we have mentioned back in the Miss Universe opening that a possible supranational supra showdown might happen. Like Puerto Rico and Thailand might be. This is the scenario in my mind that Puerto Rico and Thailand might be holding hands and the defeat is staggering on Antonia and Puerto Rico might come home. Did my mind change? No. But on Antonia, given everything that's happened, losing steam, getting tired, she is my second runner-up. I think this is a decent position for a girl like Antonia to finish. This is if it's going to be a heartbreak, this is the least painful one.
Yeah.
It's not going to be as painful as a first runner-up. Why? Second runner-up is like, oh, another girl did something different that spoiled the broad. Possibly I didn't see that.
Yeah.
Wasn't into the competition.
It's not as if it was like within reach and suddenly another girl, it's like you only had to kill one bird for that.
It's not super near yet so far, and I think it's a possibility because Thai girls has a tendency to falter in the final presentations, and I think this is where the damage could happen, and this is the position I'm in. I honestly could even see her slipping further. It could be Nicaragua, second runner-up, or even Michelle might end up in the top 3 because of her. So, Antonia Porchel has the power that is not limited to affect her chances, but also of the other girls in the competition. If she fails, it's somebody else's win. If she wins, and her country wins. And that's
And Kun An wins.
Kunan wins, and Thailand the Miss Universe organization is at a crossroad. We never know if it could make or break the organization. Could be the beginning of a new birth for Miss Universe or an end of an era that we don't know. But I'm pretty sure Antonia Porchel is standing on thin ice. And if it's going to be defeat, this is going to be a defeat that is easier to accept rather than being so close and not be there. So Thailand is second runner-up for me.
Okay. Second runner for me is Puerto Rico.
Oh, honey.
And the reason for that, it's because
First runner-up, not second.
First runner-up.
Yeah, first runner-up.
First runner-up.
Yeah.
Tama. Yeah, first runner-up for me is Puerto Rico. And the reason for that, it's because I would rather place a more interesting face at Miss Universe because of, in the past, whether it's between Yandy Phillips and Jimena Navarrete, between Janine Tugonon and Olivia Culpo, between several other past Miss Universe, the Miss Universe always crowns the more commercial beauty between the two. And that's not something that it's against that's against what's her name, against Carla, because I think in terms of speaking ability, in terms of presentation skills, she is at par with Antonia. In terms of how clean the pasarela, I give it to Antonia.
Pasarela?
My problem with Carla is that she is giving me too much not Latina, too much extra energy, like a little bit MGI in terms of the energy.
Genetics. I can
Probably.
I think that's genetics. I'm starting to believe that.
But let me hear me out. But I'm not saying that she probably she's not even within the range of winning the title, because my number one, if she slips up, she's there to pick up the pieces. So for me, Carla is safely under the within reach.
No, but this is a competition that's not that cannot afford a replacement mid-year. This is an edition that the winner has to win. Keep that till the last day of her life, because this is not an easy edition to get. This is a battle of destiny, and destiny written for you that could be taken by somebody else.
Because your number one is
Puerto Rico, and I've always said that. Given that, Dominican Republic makes first runner-up.
Sorry.
Your winner is Thailand, my winner is Puerto Rico, but the first runner-up is Dominican Republic because an all-Latina showdown in El Salvador could channel all the money. And that, like we mentioned, these are two girls highly educated, westernized, and has a strong pool of commercial viability in the Western world. They bring in the dollars, not the backs.
Not the bags.
The Thai bag.
Okay.
But these are the girls that could bring in the A game to its full potential and possibly resuscitate the pageant from its dying scheme. Because I know Andrea Mesa was the last Latina crown, but it was not the right Latina for the role. It should have been Yannick Maceta, but they didn't do that. And so now I think crowning either of these two could bring back the glory of how we view the pageant as it is. A pattern we see in Miss International, even a pageant that we don't want has crowned another Latina recently.
Yeah.
I think Miss Earth might crown another one. And a lot of these things is a phenomenon right now because, you know, being a Latina is synonymous to pageant excellence. All the Philippines is there recently, or South Africa is there recently, but we are competing based on the vantage of intellect, you know, presentation and personality. But these girls are bringing the glamour, the A-game, and the vision towards you. And I think that's the reason why Dominican Republic, as first runner-up, would such be a glorious sight to behold, which leads to your Miss Universe.
My Miss Universe is Antonia versus the Latinas. That's the scenario that I am looking at. And for me, the reason why I put Antonia, because at this point, she is the safest
Winner.
winner.
Because everything has
Safest
been
choice.
laid out for her.
Yeah.
Everything. Let's not play games here. This is true. Everything is being given, being fed, you're being held.
And the only thing that she needs to do is, when it comes to the Q&A, sound right. That's the only thing that she needs to do. If she is able to manage to have to win over the judges on the interviews, the closed-door interviews, and deliver a safe, clean presentation during the preliminaries, she will make. She is easily top 20 material. She can coast along the top 10, and the only way that she does not win the title is if she slips up. And this is the reason why I've been telling this for the longest time. This is Antonia's crown to lose. And if she's not careful, the two Latinas that we had just had mentioned, Dominican Republic and Puerto Rico, is just there to probably snatch the crown away from her.
I think to add to your point of view, Antonia, what she has to do, she shouldn't be doing is to try to be super great. She just have to be safe. That's all. You answer the question, concise, precise, don't add anything, don't make it. Because that's the mistake that Maria Erin did, Pawinsuda did. These are the mistakes that we've seen over and over again. You don't have to be Catriona. You don't do that. And you don't have to be Lara Data to have to be, because I think they want to be crowned not just a winner but be a remarkable, iconic title holder. You don't have to do that. You just need to be Miss Universe and make the most out of your reign, like Molly Isler, diba?
And here's the thing, if Thailand wins, my God, the investment back on Kun An is going to flood. I think a lot of Thai brands are going to be flooding in. So in terms of commerciality, I think the reason why our top three are two Latinas and one Asian, it's because they are the three ladies who probably can bring in the money to the organization.
Yes. And that's the truth. And that's where I'm coming from with Puerto Rico, because as the safest, most complete package, calm, collected, she has nothing to lose.
Yeah.
But she has so much to gain. And that's the kind of
whether
could be.
Whether she wins or not, it's still a win for her.
It's a win for her. Yeah. And that's a more endearing winner, because we haven't heard much from her, but apparently she's doing really, really good.
But the thing is, imagine the success story that Antonia will be able to generate after being pulled down, pulled back by all of these negative comments around her, you know, to triumph over all of these negativities, the bullying, the negative campaigning on social media, the hate speech, the negative things that have been hurled with her, that would be a very sweet victory should she win.
On another side, Carla would continue the never denied, only redirected narrative if she becomes the next Miss Universe for not winning Miss Supranational. Because that's, I think,
But then again, Shanique Rabe of is it Namibia? I think Namibia. I mean, come on, between Shanique and Carla, I think it was Shanique all the way.
It was Shanique all the way because of the what you call this? Because of the uniqueness. Because it's a departure from what they're used to at Supranational. Because crowning Carla at the time would just be what you call this? A templated kind of win. You see, with the Miss International, it is prototypical. They don't want that. But we see they return to the prototypical Miss Supranational and Andrea Aguilera this year. So it's just maybe destiny has something in store for Carla.
Maybe.
I do not know. But either way, either of the three, whether it's Dominican Republic, Thailand, or Puerto Rico is going to be the next Miss
So
Universe. I'm sure it's going to be
looking at your top five, it looks like it really is like Antonia versus the Latina scenario.
Yes.
Right.
With Philippines close by to back her up.
For me, it's South Africa.
To back. I think it's a more diverse
selection. I think what we can agree upon is this. There is a reason why our top three are the same. And I think we are looking at the top three from different perspective. However, it only cements the fact that we have pretty much the same choices.
I thought we don't have the same choices. Because earlier we have three different. Because we even entertained the idea of having...
Well, probably, you remember you mentioned earlier that we might not get this right this year.
Yeah, I said we might not get this right this year, but we still ended up with this top three on a different position. And then that says a lot, that why we see it differently this time. But because Mariana Downing was also the darling of the press.
I agree.
That's also something. And you know, when the love is
but what if we were both wrong and it was Mariana Downing who wins Miss Universe this year?
No, we'll still be right. Because remember, you put her as your presumptive
Miss Universe.
And we agreed on that. But what if Michelle D becomes Miss Universe?
That would be a welcome...
Merry Christmas,
yes. That would be a welcome development for us.
That would be...
Because here's the thing. If Philippines wins this, I think this only cements the fact that the Philippines is still a superpower when it comes to
Planet Guy has something to say. We are wrong because we are focusing on the profit. It's not our story to tell. It's Kun An. When your company is in debt, you need to pay the debt. And the debt comes from, the money comes from where?
Yeah. And you need to find a girl who will bring in the money.
The money. And the money is with Antonio and the Latinas. Yeah. That's where it is right now.
Unfortunately, it feels... I know that statement alone, will ruffle feathers, but this is the reality of life. If you haven't noticed yet, the Miss Universe organization is behaving like a business entity that is for profit. Let's not delude ourselves that these are like the Aranetas with Binibining Pilipinas, where they have generational wealth to back them up. This is not the case with Miss Universe.
It's not Donald Trump or the NBC partnership where you have media backings to support you in case your partner fails. This is not the United States owning the pageant anymore.
Yes.
We're in Asia, where single conglomerate system is running the show, and investments and profit are the name of the game.
And why aren't you surprised that every year the franchise fees go higher and higher? How come there is a bidding war? All of this points to the fact that this organization needs money.
Indeed. So that's the reason why. They even mentioned, what if the Philippines gets back to franchise? I don't think so.
The
Philippines, how Chavit might get over Miss Universe? No. I think if Kun An releases it, it's going to go to Latin America.
Yes.
Where it should.
I have the same gut feel as well. Because if the rumors are true that her partner, who is co-financing the Miss Universe
And why is
organization,
there a Miss Universe organization
is
office in Mexico right now?
yeah. Then it's probably going to go there. The money is, as I said, in Asia and Latin America for
It was
pageants.
not in Africa. It was not in Europe.
It's not even in
was-
North America.
It's not even in North America anymore. It's
That's why. So who's your El Tucoyo now?
El Tucuyo is, I don't know, same El Tucuyo.
I don't think so.
Because what
Maybe it's a Latina, one of the Latinas that we've mentioned, who's going to be the El Tucuyo this
But if
year.
you want a suicide and put Antonia as your El Tucuyo, then go ahead, shoot your head.
Yeah.
Because that would be disaster. I don't think Antonia would be that left out. I don't think Michelle would be El Tucuyo either.
I think it's going to be a Latina.
Possibly Mexico.
Because there's a possibility for that again.
Mexico.
Because
Or Venezuela.
Because then again, what we have to remember this, there are a lot of strong Latinas this year. So therefore, the possibility that the population of the nominees is higher on the Latino side in terms of the El Tocuyo. So statistically, it probably is going to be one of them.
So they're asking now, what's the point of analyzing the performance if you're ending only on the profit? Because profit, honey, without performance is not gonna happen.
Yeah.
Performance alone without the profit can affect your
Yeah,
performance.
you have to perform
So you have to
first.
perform with money.
Yeah.
You get me? You have to be rich and perform. That's it. It's not a privilege or profit. It's not a foundation. It's a job. It's a business. It's an investment. So that's how it should be.
Okay.
France
How
is
about
El
Francis
Tocuyo.
for Tocuyo?
Very much likely. I
Likely.
think everybody's now listening after the disastrous preliminaries.
Yeah.
God, horrible. I agree with the whatever channel. It's a horrible gown, horrible swimsuit walk.
The walk was honestly, I did not expect Miss France to have that kind of walk.
Terrible, terrible, terrible. El Tucuyo for Eric Concepcion are Dominican Republic, France, South Africa, Thailand, and Venezuela, which El Tucuyo also equates to potential winners.
Yeah.
So I think this makes sense.
Yeah, it makes sense.
It makes sense. Who
Okay.
else? Arbonina, deserving winner pero bankrupt ang MU. Oh, we don't know. Bankrupt. MU is bankrupt before Arboni happened.
Yeah.
I think it's the whole
System.
JPN system that
No,
was.
I think it's even the system itself. Because apparently, when the Miss Universe organization was sold to Kun-An, if they are only going to factor in the non-pandemic years, the Miss Universe organization was afloat. They were not in the red. However, if you put that in, that's a different story altogether. So the organization is not making as much of money for the IMG organization na era. I think that might be the same case under Kun-An. You cannot turn around the ship this big within a year in terms of the financial performance. You probably need an influx of money first before you're able to course correct the financial situation of the Miss Universe organization and the JKN global group.
Yes, I agree. Jamamihan said, will MMD be a good franchise administration for MUPH after her reign? I think if Michelle wins Miss Universe under MUPH, I don't know.
Because for the longest time, we've been hearing GMA pop in the conversation.
It would be beneficial if Jose Marie Joey Abacan, the Vice President for Entertainment and Programming of GMA Network, the second biggest network, and now the biggest network in the Philippines, is rumored to be owning the franchise of the Miss Universe Philippines in 2024, then that would be a good start because Joey Abacan had a dinner with Kun-An. They met. I think Joey Abacan is now in El Salvador. He will be in El Salvador. But there will be a lot of
Shake up?
shake-ups in the system, but it would be a good start because you have a star. Your star is a queen,
Yeah.
and she's under your talent agency. I think
But then again, there will be some people who will comment that, oh, the only reason she won is because of the connection again. with Joey.
But the performance, honey.
That's why it's important that you have to have the performance.
That's what I'm
You
telling
see?
you, Planet Guy. That's it.
Yeah,
You need to perform
before the money comes in.
because
Yeah.
you'll also be questioned if it's all money.
Yeah.
But I think on the part of the Jonas Scaffolding Company would be focusing on the Miss Philippines pageant. That's the reason why we see the deviations and the changes in the system, and it's evident now. So I think much as other people want.
What if, because I saw this image photo with Sir Joey Abacan and Sir Josh Yugen having like lunch together. What if Joey Abacan gets Josh Yugen to manage the franchise?
Why not? Josh has the right connections.
Yeah.
But I don't
and
know
the thing that he's doing for his girls, getting noticed, getting all the planning to get all the right connections for the girls. I think that is what a good national director
But
does
it's not
for.
easy also. I'm just wondering, Josh, if you can get in touch with us. How do you managing 3 franchises, right? Supporting each and every one of them, their needs, the connection they need to have, packing all the necessities, managing the franchise. That's a difficult job to deal with. But I think maybe on the hindsight, GMA could support the media mileage that the Middle Eastern women has to have. Maybe because of the sizable Filipino communities in the areas where they're present. So that's also one of the strong point agenda for it. But I think it will be a solely Joey Abacan management kind of deal. Should it
Happen.
transfer?
Okay.
Any Concepcion says that maiba tayo, Honduras and El Salvador. Wow, me personally, yes. We're talking about it.
And for what's his name, Fadil Berisha, to call Miss El Salvador Isabella Garcia Manso as someone who reminds him of Christy Turlington, that's a huge compliment.
Love this edition. It's crazy. It's shaking things up.
Honestly, even if we don't get the winner correct this year, whoever wins, I think, among our list of 7, I think it's going to be a celebration for us.
But I think it would be within the list of 7. It will be there. It will be there.
I do hope so.
It will be
I do
there.
hope so.
It's not easy to let them go. There are some sure girls who might not win this. South Africa. I don't know. India might even crack top 5. It might fall an Adeline Castellino performance. That could affect Michelle D's performance as well, because that's the reason why everything has to be checked and balanced every single time. Yes, we can have a connection. Yeah, we agree with the connection with Yugen, group of companies when this happens. But I think Josh needs a better machinery in the Middle East. Like that, we need a more, because that region is really interesting. There's a culture. I want to know what Bahrain is about. The restrictions that Bahraini women is going through. Possibly the issues of Pakistan, because I know as a half Indian guy that Pakistan is more stringent than India in terms of women and swimsuits and fashion and beauty. It's usually frowned upon. Egypt is more liberal, I think, and we see Miss Egypt wore Turkey swimsuit earlier. I think Egypt's gonna make it.
I think so. There's a good chance. After her performance during the preliminaries, Mora Tantawi of Egypt, someone to look after in the competition.
Mix it up, said MMB's walk smart Naomi Campbell catwalk, lalo na galawan na Hans. Girl, she is Mimilani Marquez's daughter. Supermodel, it's in the genes. It's going to happen. You can stop that. How about Nepal?
Mitsuko Ogata mentioned that Erica Robin is a Christian. So probably it's a cultural thing. That's why she wore the.
It's an homage. It's an homage.
Okay.
This is Indonesia who, wore swimsuit. Most of them are Christians. Only one Muslim, I think, is in India.
Yeah, Aninda.
Aninda Kusumaput is the only one.
In 2015, I remember that. Okay, so any final thoughts before we end our live stream?
Well, the pageant is on Sunday.
Yeah.
We have to pray, bow down, and give it all our best to support our girls in the competition.
Yeah.
I do not know if the fan vote is still up for running, but before it closes down, do make sure to support the girl that you want to make sure be part of the top 11 or top 20, I think.
I'm not sure
The
if,
semifinals.
if it's going to be top
Basta
20
the
or
girl
top
will
11.
be part of the
Yeah.
semifinals the moment they win this vote. So make sure do our part. Vote for the girls you want, whether it's Michelle D of the Philippines, Shweta Sharma of India,
Yeah.
Shane Palazzo Nicaragua, Antonia Porcel Thailand, whoever it is that you want to win, please put them in because
Yeah.
you don't have much time left. This is the time to support.
And also, a paid vote for your candidates is a financial support to the Miss Universe organization.
You don't want them to be broke.
Yeah. We cannot have this conversation if the pageant does not exist.
Yes.
So please vote because the organization needs it. Okay, they need the help. They need the financial help that they can get.
Indeed.
Yeah.
I believe tomorrow will be the national costume competition.
Yes.
That's something we need to watch out for. The final rehearsals on Saturday will be on full scale.
Yeah.
If there's any
If-
snippet of information,
Yeah.
make sure to visit Sashes&Scripts official on his website, Facebook, and Instagram for all the teas
Yeah.
and facts that I'm sure you guys are salivating to hear and have.
Yeah. And also as well, I might be dropping some final chichis, final tea, somewhere around Saturday. I will not promise, but I'm just waiting for someone to splook the unspookable splook to me before I give you everything that I know.
Yes, so
So-
this is the very exciting. We're in the last stretch of the
Yeah.
72nd Miss Universe pageant, live from El Salvador, on Sunday, Manila time, Saturday,
10 p.m. 10 a.m.
10 a.m.
10 a.m. Manila time on
Of
Sunday.
course, for those who want to ask, where can we watch?
A to Z.
A to Z, and for the Philippines, A to Z,
Kapamilya,
Kapamilya
channel,
also.
Metro channel,
Metro
and
channel.
there's one more under
under ABS-CBN
ABS.
system, but for every
Yeah.
district of Kapamilya, you would know. Of
For-
course, if you're outside Manila, YouTube.
outside the US, the Philippines, the US it's Roku channel.
Roku
outside for those countries that do not have
An official
broadcast
broadcaster,
partner,
YouTube.
it's YouTube live stream.
Of course, if you don't know how to
Yeah.
deal and crack the code, just download the VPN and do your thing. Do
Yeah.
the things. Okay, so
Okay.
that's it. So
Yeah.
this is the last stretch of competition. We're so excited. Who's gonna wear the crown? Wow.
Yeah. I think for us, this is the culmination of all the fighting and infighting amongst ourselves. So please, let's be nice in the last legs of the competition. Okay? Thank you very much for everyone who stayed for
Sorry
almost
for being
2 hours.
late, but thank you for joining our discussion this evening.
yeah.
This is one of the best times of the year indeed. We're in the biggest pageant season. Of course, after this one, we'll also be having the special coverage of Sashes&Scripts official for Miss Earth competition. The last week before the year ends, and then we'll look back and retrospect on how the pageant season happened.
Yeah.
So this is it. The biggest pageant of them all, Miss Universe
Universe.
2023.
And before we end this live stream, please leave a like dun sa ating live stream ngayon. Also, don't forget to subscribe to our channel if you want more content like this. Okay?
Yes.
In the next several weeks, incoming for the Miss Earth pageant, I will be planning something ahead, something special for the Miss Earth fans. I will be involved with something with regards to the Miss Earth pageant. So please stay tuned for that. And Mark, thank you very much for joining.
Thank you for having
Always
me. One of the limited times I can, express my love for pageantry. We're both busy. Thank you for sharing the platform with me. It was always an honor.
maybe we can do this again for Binibining Pilipinas.
2024, the 68th edition. And if Binibini baka naman if you wanna
Yeah.
get a digital correspondent, we're here.
Yes. Okay, thank you very much, guys, for all the love, the support that you've shown us in our live streams. Please make sure to watch the Miss Universe pageant because I think we will all be glued
One
with
hell
the
of a
results.
show.
Yeah.
I love it when John Legend performed in 2010. He's back again. Save room for my love. I remember that so much. Yeah, Venus Ra was
Yes.
the first placement. So let's see if Michelle is gonna give us another snake slithering performance. Will it be Antonia's vivaciousness of the Thai grandeur?
Or Mariana is going to
Mariana's
steal,
pretty face.
still
Stealing
the crown.
show. Or Carla,
Or even
walking
Carla.
like a pro on the running. Or maybe Nicaragua, shining like the queen. that
A
she's
new,
always been.
I mean, a new country winning is always a welcome development.
Development.
Yeah.
Yes.
So thank you very much for everything.
Thank you so much.
See you again soon. Bye, everyone.